Well, alrighty, everybody. How are you doing? How are you doing? This is the S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Says podcast, episode number 412. Let's just get right into it. You can't have incompetent people really close to things that are important to you. Yes, I always joke around and say that on this podcast, I'm kind of like the cool uncle you wish you had. People seem to understand that. People seem to get that. I had 3 cool uncles, and they were awesome. They're passed on. Love all 3 of them. Bye. Miss you guys. But I want to be that cool uncle for you, okay? And what I'm saying is you cannot have incompetent people around things that are important to you. I don't know if you've ever had a handyman or a handy woman around your house to fix your stuff. Right? You have stuff that you need to have fixed, and they're cheaper than going to the mechanic, or they're cheaper than going to the plumber. They're cheaper than going to the woodworking person or the floor person or the carpeting person. Everybody knows somebody like that. Maybe they were an apprentice of someone who was really good at something, and they have the requisite skills to get the job done, but they're not as good as the person who's an expert at the job. The expert will charge 4 times more. This person can kind of get the job done to the point where everything is okay. But sometimes that person has the skills, but they're an incompetent human being. They'll come and they'll fix it halfway so you can't use somebody else, right? And here's the thing, you will be in relationships with an incompetent person, and you is better than going out and hunting for someone else. This person, well, they're not that bad. They're not that bad. It's just great to have somebody here. I got somebody in bed with me, and then we get it on, so I guess that's good too, right? I know they're not that nice to me all the time. Sometimes they'll have periods where they're kind of incompetent as a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're thinking. But, I've got somebody. You know what I'm talking about. I like to think that people have 2 minds. And in this context, we're talking about boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives. I've never been married, so I'm going to say boyfriend, girlfriend, okay? You have 2 minds. You have the competent mind of the good boyfriend, girlfriend, or the incompetent mind of the bad boyfriend, bad girlfriend. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. 30 years ago, I was a bad boyfriend. Not cheating bad, because I've never cheated and I never will. Not hitting someone bad. Never hit a woman, never will, ever. But I was insensitive sometimes. Not aggressively insensitive where I was saying mean things about someone, but I didn't notice the kind of things that a good boyfriend would notice. I would stereotypically not notice a new haircut, stereotypically not notice a new dress, stereotypically not notice something that was important to her, that it would have been fantastic if I actually noticed it, and it would have been great. But no, my dumb behind did not pick up on those things I didn't know. Now, nowadays, as an older guy, I preemptively know and notice things. Right? Right? It's kind of like a fighter who, if you really think about it, when you have a great fighter, what they do is they know what you're going to do so they can make the strike. Like if you see a guy's boxing and a guy feints and then throws the punch to hit the person. Now, obviously, I'm not going to hit a girlfriend. What you're actually fighting in this context is the incompetent version of yourself. You have to be preemptive when it comes to making your girlfriend happy, or making your boyfriend happy, or making your wife happy, or making your husband happy. You have to be preemptive, right? Current me knows what's coming, so I know how to make the woman happy before she even gets mad in the first place. This is my lesson, and I've talked about this before, but I think it's important to rehash this for my young listeners. You guys in your 20s and 30s. You think you know what it's like to be a man, but you don't. And I'm going to help you out. Like I said, the cool uncle you wish you had. See, if you really understand women, you have to pay attention to what they're doing, the way they're walking, the sound of their voice, the way they carry themselves, the way they dress. You have to pick up on the little symbols, the little signals. Oh, yeah. There are times when she wants you to come over to that place, pick her up, put her on the couch, jump on top of her, and give her that good deep business, and she's been thinking about it all day. You ever catch your woman looking at you, and she got a little smile on her face, and she's licking her lips and something like that, and she wants you to come over there and slobber. Now, come here, girl, kiss on and grab and rub on all the soft stuff. That's right. But then there are times when you've been together for a long period of time. She still loves getting it on with you, but getting it on has its time and place. Right? You walk over there, she's wearing the sweatpants, her delicious buttocks is jiggling, and you want to squeeze on her delicious buttocks, and then all of a sudden you squeeze on her chest yummies, and you're squeezing on you got one hand on her delicious buttocks and one hand on one of her chest yummies, and you're trying to convince her to go into the bedroom and lay and give you the good deep business, but she's not in the mood right now. Right? And you keep doing it. You just keep making runs at it. Every time you see her delicious buttocks, you put your hands on her delicious buttocks. You slob on her shoulders. You put your hands on her delicious chest yummies. And she's like, oh, God, I don't want to do this right now. I'm tired. I've got work to do. Can't he take a hint? I'm wearing sweatpants and sweat clothes, and it's 80 degrees outside. That's the don't touch me if you're trying to get some outfit. He doesn't know that. Well, current me knows that. I know the please don't even think about it outfits. I know when you're in a relationship. I know, right? But what I've also learned as a more intelligent, older man is when I'm in a relationship with a woman and I see her delicious buttocks, do I walk up behind her and rub her delicious buttocks? You're damn right I do. Do I slob on her shoulders and put my hands on her delicious chest yummies? You're damn right. But you know what I do? Instead of definitely trying to pick her up and take her into the back and give her the good deep business, do you know what I do? I look at her and she's looking at me and I go, you know what? It's really hard to keep my hands off you. You're awesome. And I give her a peck on the cheek and then I get the hell out of the room. And she's looking at me like, he just was squeezing my delicious buttocks and scrumptious chest yummies, and he didn't try to get some. Wow, he just likes touching me. Yes, it is. That's exactly what I'm doing, right? You ever have your woman, she's just got the sweat, you got the T-shirt on with no bra. Maybe you've been having sex for years. She don't care. Ain't nobody in the house but you two. She got the chest yummies there, and she just puts her head, and she just wants to hug you and watch the movie. You look down at her, you look at the chest yummies, you put your hand on those delicious chest yummies, you give her a kiss on the forehead, tell her, man, I'd rather look at you than this movie, girl, with your little pretty self. Then you watch the movie. She goes, he just touched my delicious chest yummies and didn't try to get into my delicious buttocks. Oh, wow. He just likes touching me. And it is that I like to touch her. But I wanted to let her know. Let them know. I just love their delicious bodies, and I want to put my hands on their delicious bodies and slob on her neck and tell her how pretty she is just because I wanted to put my hands on her delicious buttocks and delicious chest yummies just because I love touching her chest yummies and delicious buttocks. So when I touch a woman's delicious buttocks and chest yummies, she melts back into my hand. I walk up behind her. It's her turn to cook breakfast. She's making some pancakes. I see that delicious chocolate buttocks. I put my hands on that thing. She leans back into me and says, yeah, right? And she kind of turns her body because she knows the hands are going to the chest yummies. I get up to the chest yummies and I'm like, yeah, get big. I'm not going to say my incredibly smooth and incredible sex talk because y'all ain't ready for that yet. You know, you wind up, y'all not ready for that yet. I'll get to that in another podcast years from now. Y'all haven't advanced to that level yet. Don't hate because I'm the best. Shut up, punks. Back to the story. And I say my guy, that's what I say to her. And she goes, right? And then I go back to the table. I walk out of the room and she looks at me and smiles because she knows I'm just touching her stuff because her stuff's awesome. And I have permission to touch her stuff because she gave me permission to touch her stuff, right? But some of you bastards grab a hold of her stuff and she's like, oh no, because she knows you're trying to get some. But the funny thing is, because I touch her delicious buttocks and delicious chest yummies, not trying to get some, I get a whole lot more. Oh yeah, you're damn right. You ever buy your woman flowers when you do something dumb? Right? That's a cliched crap. She takes the flowers and basically you're just apologizing. You don't get credit for the flowers. That's your apology. You have to do the flowers and something else. Why? 'Cause you're stupid. Yeah, I said it. I love you guys, but sometimes you're dumb. I've been you. I've also been dumb. Don't be mad. What I do, my friends, is I bring flowers when I didn't do anything. Yeah, when I didn't do anything dumb. In fact, when everything's going great, I bring flowers just because I want to bring flowers. And now, every time she sees flowers and thinks about how great her dude is because he brings her flowers for no reason. And I did bring flowers for no reason. I just wanted to know she's the best thing in the world. That's how I treat girlfriends, right? Some of my dumb friends wait till they do something bad. Now, when my girlfriends would look at flowers and somebody selling flowers on the road, or they go into a store and they're selling flowers, she's thinking about, hey, S. Anthony used to buy me flowers all the time, and he still does. I don't have a girlfriend right now, but you get the point. And he's such a great guy with the flowers, and she smiles when she sees the flowers. Her friend, on the other hand, only gets flowers when he does something dumb. So she looks at the flowers. Yeah, Ed gets me flowers when he does something dumb, that bastard. And so now flowers make my girlfriend have to come back to the house and kind of sit in my lap. She takes my hand and puts it on her delicious chest yummies. And I'm looking up at her. She's looking down at me and I'm going, ha ha. She goes, ha ha ha. And then we go back and I give her that good deep business for the rest of the day. And then take a nice 2-hour break because I'm in my 50s now. And then give it a good deep business again. And then she massages the Charlie horse in my leg. I mean, I'm not as young as I used to be. F y'all, back to me. Right? But that's the competent mind of the good boyfriend. The competent mind of the good boyfriend. Right? You preemptively do good things. But like I said, when I was younger, I didn't pick up on things. When I was younger, I had good girlfriends who were fantastic girlfriends who really did nice things for me, did great things for me, even when they hadn't done anything stupid or said anything stupid. And it was because at the time when I was younger, the girls I was getting it on with, I'm 19, 20 years old. They're like 28, 29 years old. They're experienced women. So they know, hey, I don't want to mess this young guy that I'm enjoying up. I'm going to do good things for him. And then actually women are better at doing stupid crap and hiding it. So I didn't even really know they were doing stupid crap, but it didn't really matter. I was having sex, so who cares? So what I'm saying is there's an incompetent mind of a bad boyfriend, girlfriend, and the competent mind of a good boyfriend, girlfriend. And that's the battle we have every day. But just like when somebody's incompetent when they're doing a job for us, like the handyman or the mechanic or the plumber who comes in and does a crap job, you have to be ready to fire that person. Sometimes you got to bite the bullet, right? The person comes in and does a half-ass job at the plumbing, and now you already spent $100 on this dumbass, and now you got to spend another $250. Oh no, because you have a real plumber come in, right? And they always have that look. They always come in, they put their tool belt down, they look at the pipes. Whoa, who did this? Whoever did this didn't know what the hell they were doing. Whatever I would just suggest. I hope you didn't do this. You didn't do this, did you? No, I didn't do it. Okay, good. Because I was going to say, whoever did this really didn't know what the heck they were doing. From now on, you should really have a person who has real skill do this job right there. Okay, chuck, yuck, 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 yuck. And you got to sit there and listen to that humiliation, right? Then you have the person who was doing the pipe. They always show up 2 days after the job is completed correctly, and they're trying to guilt trip you. Hey, man, I was doing that job. You didn't have to spend all that money on the new plumber, man. I mean, I was just, and granted, I told you I was going to do it Saturday, and this is now Friday of the next week, and I haven't answered any of your phone calls. And when you came to the house to try to get me, I wasn't there, and I never explained the fact that I wasn't available for some other. Well, basically, I'm just basically a lazy bastard, and you gave me half the money, and I used it to buy weed and drink beer. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of forgot what your address was. But what I'm saying is, man, why'd you do that, man? I was going to finish it, bro. Yeah. Right? You ever, you know what I'm saying? You fire the incompetent girlfriend or boyfriend, right? Right? You try to call them, they're ghosting you, right? But they don't want to dump you. They don't want to dump you. They want to they want to keep you around so they can get it on with you. It's like, if I don't want to be around them. I like the person, but I don't like the person, but I want to have access to their genitals. So I'm not going to completely get rid of them. Right. I've been there. You have the woman's 28 years old, right? She really wants to be with another 28, 29, 30-year-old executive guy, and I'm a 20-year-old comedy guy just coming up in the business, but she thinks I'm cute and she likes, when I give her the business, right? But she really wants to be with someone her own age, right? But she enjoys me, if you understand what I'm saying, she wants more of the business. She doesn't want to completely get rid of me because then she's not going to get any more business. And then, right? And then she just kind of ghosts me. They didn't have the word ghost back then. This is 30-something years ago. But you get the point. And I'm like, man, I'm not calling this girl anymore. F this, man. Forget this crap. And I start looking after somebody else. I'm talking to another lady, trying to get her phone number. And then she comes storming in. Hey! And then she wraps her arms around you, gives you, kisses you on the mouth right in front of the other lady. Oh, look there. Right? And then you really like this lady that you were talking to, and she seemed to be really into you. And how are you going to explain to her, this is the lady that was stringing me along and wasting my time, but then she saw me talking to you, and she decided to just walk up into the room, grab me, and jam her tongue down my throat, and that she's not going to believe that. She's going to think you're some cheating scumbag. So now this woman, who was a sweetheart and you might have really been able to build something with, is permanently out of the question now because she thinks you're a cheating scumbag when you didn't do anything wrong. And as soon as that new girl has been shooed away, this girl comes back into your life. She gets it on with you about 15 more times and then ghosts you again. Well, you could have been with that other girl who actually was cool. And why did that happen? Because the incompetent girlfriend, you let her hang around. You didn't fire her. Soon as she comes up to you, she's going, hey, we've broken up. I don't know what the hell you're doing. I'm spending time with this lady. We broke up a long time ago. Don't try to ruin something. You could have done that, but you didn't. You were flustered. You know, there's a part of you that kind of wanted her back because you still didn't know what happened. She was an incompetent girlfriend and you didn't fire her. And now what happens? You don't know what could have happened with that new lady. Right? Back at the plumber for a minute. Imagine if you waited a couple of weeks. You don't have water in your house for a couple of weeks. You got to go buy water or some crap like that. And you got to go somebody's house to shower because you're waiting for that chump. Then he finally shows up and finishes the job, but finishes it badly. Not only in the earlier part of the story, he didn't even finish it. He just started it. Now he finishes it, but he F'd it up worse than it was before. And you still got to get a new plumber. Sometimes you got to look at the people around you and realize you can't have incompetent people around something that's important to you. Sometimes you got to bite the bullet. I didn't want to pay $200 for the real plumber. I wanted to pay $75 for the guy who could kind of do the job. And I wound up spending, you gave him like $40. And I wound up spending $240. It actually cost me more because I could have just gone straight to the guy who really knew what he was doing with the plumbing, with the pipes and all of that crap. I was getting strung along as a 19, 20-year-old by this hot 28-year-old. And I ran into a woman my own age, I think I was 20. She was like 21 or something like that. Sweetheart of a girl. Seemed awesome. She was just a really nice lady. And like I said, this lady comes pouring into the place. Hey, and grabs me, spins around and jams a thing down my throat and grabs my junk in front of the other lady. And the lady's looking at me like, oh, so you're one of those. And I'm going, oh, no, I'm not one of those. Because I didn't fire this incompetent girlfriend. I had the new potential girlfriend right there. She was awesome, fun to talk to in a way that the other girlfriend just wasn't. And I didn't fire her. I should have, she's not going to return my phone calls. I know she got the messages. I could have just left a message saying, look, we haven't talked in a while. You seem to be hard to get in contact with. I don't appreciate it. Don't call me anymore. We're not together anymore. Don't call me anymore and do not come to the club. I don't want to see you. I could have done that, or I could have gone to her house. I didn't want to do that. I want to look some damn stalker. And be like, look, or left her a note, or I knew where she hung out, but I didn't want to go to those places because why would I want to show up like a stalker? I was like, no, she's going to do that. I'm just going to go about my business. But I never fired her. I let her think that it was okay to keep me up on the shelf to pull down when she needed the business. I made errors like that. I didn't fire the incompetent person. Just look around you, my friends. There's important things to you, things that are important to you in your life, and there are people that are close to those important things that are incompetent. Just remember, The incompetent mind of the bad girlfriend, bad boyfriend, the competent mind of the good girlfriend, good boyfriend. Make sure from your end you're listening to and paying attention to the competent mind of yours. The one that notices things, the one that wants to be better, the one that doesn't want to put up with crap from other people. It's important to listen to the competent mind, because the incompetent mind is nothing but trouble. You wind up with effed up plumbing, and you wind up with a sweetheart of a girl that you probably would be married to right now when the other woman runs into the bar, spins you around, jams her tongue down your throat, and grabs your junk. And you're mad at her for doing that. But you're figuring, well, she already ruined it with the other girl, so I might as well go home and give her the deep business. And then you go home with her and business the crap out of each other and restart that failed relationship and spend 6 more months on and off again with somebody you should have fired in the first place. But I digress. Folks, it's been great talking to you again. I will see you again next time. This is S. Anthony Thomas. If you like this podcast, and you do me a favor, rate and review this podcast on whatever your podcatcher is, okay? If you love this podcast, and you do, make sure you tell friends, family, whoever you think will like this podcast, tell them about it. If you love this podcast, and you do, subscribe to this podcast on whatever podcatcher you're listening to it on, whether it's Spotify or Apple or any of the other ones, Stitcher or whatever. Make sure you subscribe, and like I said, tell a friend and rate and review. It would be much appreciated. Much love to you guys, and I will see you again next time. Take care.